Hey everyone, welcome to the Dungeoncast. I'm Will.
I'm Brian.
This is the podcast where we talk about everything Dungeons and Dragons, from twisted twins to twitchy twigs. And today we're covering the Twilight Domain for the Cleric. The Dungeoncast.
Hey, Will.
Hey Brian.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Sick.
This is weird.
Yeah. Well, I did it with your special guest Jake, so let's do it here.
Okay.
Where you're gonna handle today's character creation.
I'm building the Twilight Cleric.
I'll drop some knowledge. You can go read this stuff, but I'm gonna say it to all of you.
Real quick, before we get into this, you didn't peek at my character, right?
No.
Cool. So it's gonna be a surprise to you.
I would never peek.
Okay. All right. I believe you. Tell me about the domain of Twilight for the Cleric. Right.
The Twilight. How do you say this? Twilight.
The Twilight.
The Twilight. Really? Is it Twilight?
Yeah, the Twilight transition.
Nice. The Twilight transition from light into darkness often brings calm and even joy as the day's labors end and the hours of rest begin. The darkness can also bring terrors, but the gods of Twilight guard against the horrors of the night. Clerics who serve these deities, Will's phone went off. Clerics who serve these deities, examples of which appear on the Twilight deities table, bring comfort to those who seek rest and protection. Yeah, rest and protection. Hold on. Twilight deities table bring comfort to those who seek rest and protect them by venturing into the encroaching darkness to ensure that the dark is a comfort, not a terror. So domains. Oh yeah, go for it. You have a thought, an opinion?
I mean, a few, but essentially this is like the night is full of terrors kind of deal. Game of Thrones. I know. Have you ever watched Game of Thrones?
No.
Oh,
stop telling people my dark secrets.
So it's like a night is full of terrors, but like, you know, there's a light in the darkness. In this case, it's it could be a few things. It could be the moon or the stars.
Yeah.
I went with a very astrology kind of build, which you'll see later. But this is a very mystic starlight style of cleric, which I'm a big fan of.
Okay, yeah, this is good. You get some domain spells. So the first level Twilight Domain feature, you gain domain spells at the cleric levels listed in the Twilight Domain spells table. Twilight Domain spells, cleric level spells. You're gonna get fairy. At first level, you're gonna get Fairy Fire and Sleep. At third, you're gonna get Moonbeam and See Invisibility. Moonbeam is cool, like goes through stuff.
Yeah.
Fifth level spells, you're gonna get Aura of Vitality and Lehman's Tiny Hut. Tiny Hut is fun too. Seventh, you're gonna get Aura of Life and Greater Invisibility. So cool. Ninth level, you're going to get the Circle of Power and Mislead. So yeah, there's some like very like light and like very Twilight inspired style spells, like this time of day or like going to sleep or like.
I think sleep's hilarious. It's like Twilight's past, go to sleep.
Yeah. It's your bedtime.
Yeah, but yeah, Moonbeam's an obvious one. It's also a very what's the word I'm looking for? Supportive abilities.
Yeah,
like
totally.
Aura of Vitality, Aura of Life.
Utility stuff.
Yeah, very utilitarian, yeah.
Bonus proficiencies at first level. Twilight Domain feature, you gain proficiency with martial weapons and heavy armor.
Yeah.
Cleric-y.
This has always been my thing with the Cleric, is like, I get why they have the martial weapons and heavy armor on a lot of the builds. It's so that they don't fucking die, and also it's just been the classic D&D thing since the beginning. Like
clerics are going out to fight bad monsters of evil.
It's just, and I don't know why I get stuck on it with the Twilight Domain specifically, but I just can't help but feel or image a white mage from Final Fantasy, which is a robed wizard that does healing magic, and again also from Final Fantasy, the Astrologian, which is also a robed figure that does like light star magic. And sorry, I know that's my bias, but it gets to me. I don't know.
You can have heavy armor under your robes. It's
I guess
so. Super hot.
I guess so. It just seems so counter to the archetype. But you know what do I know? Move on.
God doesn't care about your BO.
Indeed.
Get sweaty under that.
So tell me about these features, Brian.
Okay, you get Eyes of the Night, or just Eyes of Night. First level Twilight Domain feature, you can see through the deepest gloom. You have dark vision out to a range of 300 feet.
Yeah.
In that radius, you can see in dim light as if it were bright light, and in darkness as if it were dim light. As an action, you can magically share the dark vision of this feature with willing creatures you can see within 10 feet of you, up to a number of creatures equal to your wisdom modifier, with a minimum of one creature, of course. The shared dark vision lasts for 1 hour. That's pretty good. Once you share it, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a spell slot of any level to share it again. I love this. So you're not just limited to like, okay, you get one for freezies and then you have to like basically do magic.
Oh yeah. The expanded spell slot option is it's a good option.
Cooler buff with the new classes.
This cleric plays well with others, as all clerics do and should. They have a feature that benefits the whole party, and they can spread it to the whole party. Dark vision, everyone kind of has it, but I will say, like, this 300-foot range, this is probably, I can say with some form of confidence, that is probably the greatest amount of dark vision anyone ever gets across any class feature or racial feature, because it's over double even what dark elves get.
You know, when you have, like, let's say you're running a 3-man crew and only one of them has dark vision, if you're this one, like, this is a very good feature.
Yeah,
because if you're in, like, an elf party, like, no.
Yeah, and then it's kind of whatever. Yeah, that's the thing about it. But luckily, you get more than this feature at level 1.
Yes, it's true. You also get Vigilant Blessing. The knight has taught you to be vigilant. As an action, you give one creature you touch, including possibly yourself, advantage on the next initiative roll the creature makes. The benefit ends immediately after the roll, or if you use this feature again.
So this is great to use on your low dex paladin.
Nice.
It's like, especially because you need that dude or lady up front and tanking hits.
Yes.
But it's hard for them to do that in the first round when they're going last. So here's advantage on your initiative roll. Again, a very supportive cleric. This cleric plays well with others.
Let's get into some level 2 shit. Channel Divinity. So Twilight. Okay, let's see. You can use your Channel Divinity to refresh your allies with Soothing Twilight. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and a sphere of Twilight emanates from you. The sphere is centered on you, has a 30-foot radius, and is filled with dim light. The sphere moves with you and lasts for 1 minute or until you are incapacitated or die. Whenever a creature, including you, ends its turn in the sphere, you can grant that creature one of these benefits. You grant it temporary hit points equal to 1d6 plus your cleric level. You end one effect on it, causing it to be charmed or frightened. So if your homies are inundated with horrible magics that are making them not able to do shit, you can just say nah.
Yeah, so the Channel Divinity is named Twilight Sanctuary. I don't know if you remember this from most clerics, but all clerics get a custom Channel Divinity to their domain.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, this one's good. That 1d6 plus your cleric level of temporary hit points at the end of its turn, multiple times for over a minute. Like, that's a huge buff. Again, you're gonna put this on your party's like tank or frontliner.
Right.
It's gonna keep them alive a lot longer because this is level 2, so already out the bat we're looking at an average of 6 extra HP per round. That's a lot, especially at the lower levels, and that's only going to go up higher. You know, at level 10, this is 10 plus a d6 every single round.
It's pretty good.
This is a very good feature. I would say, again, plays well with others.
Totally. So
and it doesn't cost a spell slot either.
Yeah, this is good. This is actually nice. I like the inspiration of Twilight. They're like stretching it out a little bit. Okay, so Steps of Night at 6th level. You can draw on the mystical power of the night to rise into the air. That's weird. As a bonus action, when you are in dim light or darkness, you can magically give yourself a flying speed equal to your walking speed for 1 minute. Now it's not weird. You're like Peter Pan's shadow or some shit.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
You can use this bonus action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
Now, I love this feature, number one. This is an awesome feature. But I do find it funny that the Twilight Domain cleric, which when I think of Twilight, I do think of the sky. I think of moons and stars. They would shine amazingly in an Underdark campaign where it's always dark and dim. It's like you could just fly pretty much all the time.
Yep, you can touch the cave ceiling.
It's really freaking cool.
It's nighttime, baby. Shh, watch this. At 8th level, you're going to get the Divine Strike. You gain the ability to infuse your weapon strikes with divine energy. Weird. Never heard of that.
You can also switch this out. There's an optional feature for all classes that have the Divine Strike feature. I think I chose it for mine, so we'll go over that when we cover the character.
Okay.
But you can actually swap out this feature for a better version of it.
No way?
Yeah.
Okay. So once on each of your turns when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can cause the attack to deal an extra 1d8 radiant damage. When you reach 14th level, the extra damage increases to 2d8, much like a cantrip.
Yeah. I think the feature you can swap out with it basically makes it so you can apply this Divine Strike to your spells.
Ooh.
So in case like you're not a melee cleric, this feature isn't meaningless.
You're gonna get this damage in one way or another. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. And at 17th level, you're going to get the Twilight Shroud. So the Twilight that you summon offers a protective embrace. You and your allies have half cover while in the sphere created by your Twilight Sanctuary.
So I believe half cover is pretty substantial. Is that the one that gives you just a flat +2?
I think it's 2 3/4 cover gives you +5.
I can never keep track of the covers in this game.
That's like it's such a weird like...
Yeah, so half cover gives you a +2 bonus to AC and dexterity saving throws. Target's half cover. Okay, so that's what it gives you. So let me see here. Let's reread this. So it gives you half cover while in the sphere you create, while in the sphere created by your Twilight Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Which Twilight Sanctuary was
a 30-foot radius.
Your channel divinity. Not too shabby. I don't know if it's like a worthy 17th level feature. That's late in the game.
Your allies have
+2s are nice, cover. But like
I don't know a +2 buff to AC just
and dex saves.
Like yeah,
but
that's
only within
good.
the 30-foot range. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 30 foot's okay. I mean, like if you're frontlining with your compatriots, you're probably going to be right there.
I would just think at level 17, you're probably going to spend your turn doing something much more potent.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
It's not useless.
No,
and again,
it's something.
It's a feature that plays well with others.
17th level, you get a little more. We'll give a little more.
So before we get into the character I built, any thoughts on this thus far on this type of cleric?
No, I'm trying to there's Twilight Princess from the Legend of Zelda series.
Yeah, sure.
And I can't make any pulls right now. So,
okay.
A Midna inspired character seems kind of boring to me because she's a little bit of a boring character in that game.
Who, Midna?
She's an interesting character.
Midna?
But it's your
Midna is the most interesting character of Twilight Princess. She's complex, has a backstory, an extremely playful but cold personality. When was the last time you played that game?
I ran through it a couple years ago, and then it's she's fun at the beginning, and then she falls into the background until the end of the game, pretty much.
I guess,
and then she's just Navi.
At the very end, yeah. She does
and then you get that
Navi.
lore drop at the end, I'm a fucking hot princess. See you later. I guess you're gonna have fun with the other princess. I gotta go.
I think Minda's really cool, but let's take a short rest.
Yeah, I mean she's not bad.
Okay.
All right, we're back.
Indeed we are, and I'm going to tell you about my character. So I built a Twilight Cleric, and she is a centaur.
Oh, cool.
Her name is Asteria the Starseer, so I went with Harry Potter inspired.
Yeah, I was just going to say some Forbidden Forest shit. Let's go.
So, the centaurs in Harry Potter, they're Starseers. They are astrologians. I kind of wanted to do an astrologian Final Fantasy thing, but again, they're robed, so the armor thing kind of threw it off. But I did want to go with the whole divination style. So she is very much into reading the stars. She's a big believer in fate.
Okay.
She's very confident that she is following fate and that all things are preordained. And she's very what's the word I'm looking? Determined. She's a deterministic believer.
Okay.
She wields a Moontouch sword. She also can fuck things up with her hooves.
What's a Moontouch sword?
I want to say that it does extra damage. It has a light, so it's lit, but I think it does extra damage to undead. I built her a long time ago at this point, so I don't remember the details.
Keep telling me about it. I'll look up Moontouch.
Yeah,
sword.
so for the spells, I chose Guidance. That's an obvious one. Again, plays well with others. Light, Sacred Flame, Spare the Dying. I tried to go with anything that had to do with determining fate or guiding the future. So Guiding Bolt, Fairy Fire, again, very obvious ones. Augury, obviously. Detect Thoughts, Locate Object. Again, more divination stuff.
If they are meant to be hit, you will have advantage.
Exactly, yeah. How to locate where things are.
Cool.
Moonbeam, Prayer of Healing, See Invisibility. Again, trying to determine where things are. Slave Spiritual Weapon.
This Moontouch sword came out of Xanathar's guide, and in darkness, the unsheathed blade of this sword, it can be any sword apparently, sheds moonlight, creating bright light in a 15-foot radius and dim light for an additional 15 feet.
There it is. I thought it was a nice
damage
touch.
buff or anything.
Yeah, it's just extra moonlight, very mystical.
Can you imagine this fucking horse lady coming out of the fucking woods?
I know, right?
Human upper body, that's horrible enough.
I picture, so her movement speed as a centaur is 40 feet.
Yeah.
Her level 6 feature gives her flight equal to her movement speed. So flight of 40 feet.
That's
I just
fucking
picture
cool.
basically wings of starlight emerge from her back.
I'm a fucking like Pegasi centaur.
Exactly.
For
yes.
1 minute or
yes,
whatever.
for a minute, like X amount of times a day. She gets divination. And locate creature. Obviously, she gets other spells, but I was looking at the divination style stuff. For her features, I'm trying to locate that feature I swapped out. So instead of divine strikes, she gets blessed strikes. Ooh. When a creature takes damage from one of your cantrips or weapon attacks, you can also deal 1d8 radiant damage to that creature. Once you deal this damage, you can't use this feature again until the start of the next turn. So again, for Sacred Flame, it's an extra d8. Yeah.
That's freaking cool.
Absolutely.
So Sacred Flame's already scaling as it is.
Yeah, and this is
so
extra on top of that. Yeah, and I just don't picture her as a melee fighter all that much. Like even her sword is more of a utility torch than anything else.
Yeah. Like a stinger, like Sting, like a Frodo sword.
Like Sting.
Is it just Sting?
It's Sting. Yeah.
Sting.
Yeah.
Need to brush up on my LOTR.
Trying to think here. And I picked up the feat telepathic. So she's able to speak telepathically to any creature as long as they share the language. They also learn the Detect Thoughts spell and can cast the spell without expanding. Again, telepathy just felt right with this character.
Hey, get out of the woods. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, it was me, Asteria, the Starseer.
You can't see me right now, but I can see you.
For skills, I gave her Insight, Medicine, Nature, Perception, and Religion, which again, she's very insightful. She is a far traveler for her background, all eyes on you. So her feature is your accents, mannerisms, figures of speech, or perhaps even your appearance all mark you as foreign. Curious glances are directed your way wherever you go, which can be a nuisance, but you also gain the friendly interest of scholars and others intrigued by far-off lands, to say nothing of everyday folk who are eager to hear stories of your homeland. You can parlay this attention into access to people and places you might not otherwise have for you and your traveling companions. So she's an oddity. She's out of place, and she also has a very particular way of speaking.
From the deep dark woods.
Yeah, I believe I gave her Sylvan as a language. I'm trying to find that right now.
That tracks.
Let me see here. She is Fey rather than humanoid, so it does track. Yes, it's over here. She could speak Celestial, Common, and Sylvan. And also telepathy.
Is the Fey thing part of your like centaur pick? What is that?
Yes, as a centaur, she's Fey. Yeah.
Okay.
So Celestial, Sylvan, and telepathic. She's very mystical. This is almost borders on like an NPC or like a hireling, like someone who like comes in, is with the party for a limited amount of time.
I was gonna say the T's told me to join your adventuring group.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, the stars aligned, and I must fight with you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna help guide you through this forest because it is my fate. And then I'm going to disappear mysteriously when I'm done.
That's cool. Like, I'm supposed to be your fucking forest Sherpa.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, the fates told me to guide you safely through the woods.
Right. Exactly. So
get those guys. Fire, go.
She does lean more towards NPC. But yeah, that's my character. Not an extensive backstory, just kind of a concept that if I were to run, then I would elaborate the backstory.
You must shine moonlight on the bramble, and it will part.
Right.
And
exactly.
Takes out a fucking sword.
Exactly. So, any questions?
No, this is cool.
All right. Well, I think we can get ready for our long rest.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the long rest part of the show where we dick around and build beholders and do other miscellaneous stuff.
I believe we are on feature 7 at this point. Feature and beam 7.
Number 7, baby.
So
what's it going to be, Will?
Rick
Tell
the
me
Grick
about the
Ranger.
feature.
We're leaning into the Grick thing. So feature. We are giving this beholder the Eyes of Night. That's 300 feet of dark vision. Its center eye is going to essentially not have pupils, but be, when you gaze into it, it's going to appear as if it is made of the
Milky Way swirl?
Yeah, the Milky Way swirl, like the void
Galactic
of night, the
swirl.
starlights. And it's going to be able to spot its Gricks from 300 feet away with this feature.
We're leaning in.
In the dark.
Rick, the Grick Rancher. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna give it a Twilight Shroud beam. So it's going to give all of its Gricks half cover. What's the range?
It can drop a 30-foot sphere within eyesight, which we know is like 300 feet. Basically, if that Grick gets into danger and Rick can't get there quick enough, it's going to shoot off a Twilight Shroud beam to help protect that Grick while it makes its way over there.
And this we'll buff it since it's Grick specific to be like any range within sight.
Yeah, any range within sight, any Grick within sight.
Any Grick within sight or smell.
No, I think the smell's too powerful.
No, it's not. Let's do it.
Sure, okay.
The Gricks have to be strong or this beholder is weak.
Sure, okay. So there it is. There's our next Beholder feature and beam. And is there anything else we want to talk about before we let our audience go?
We're running a contest.
We are.
You can get Fizzban's guide to all the dragons.
Fizzban's Treasury of Dragons.
Fizzban's Dragon Treasures, alternate art cover book. Go to Twitter and follow the instructions there, which is like pump the show, tag #Dungeoncast.
Yeah, share your favorite episode with #Dungeoncast and you'll be entered.
That includes everything you need to know, or any other video we do.
Anything Dungeoncast related.
Yeah, and you can go to Instagram and do something similar. Tag people, be entered, spread the word about the Dungeoncast. That's the whole point of the show. Win yourself a sweet dragon book full of dragons and beautiful dragons.
Indeed.
And Fizzban, I guess.
I believe we have some shout-outs, Brian?
Got some shout-outs. Hey, check us out on Patreon. It really helps keep the lights on, and like it actually helps us a lot in our normal lives. So like, thank you so much to everybody on Patreon. You're a bunch of loyal mother truckers, and we love you for it.
Indeed.
We really, really appreciate it. It's great. So we're gonna do some shout-outs for new patrons from July to mid-August. Pretty much is where we're landing here. We got Kill Trill.
Thank you, Kill Trill.
Thanks for upgrading your pledge, Kill Trill. I don't know who Trill is, but don't kill people in real life, I guess. Eric Royal.
Thank you, Eric.
Thanks, Eric. Alan Will.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Alan Will. The Last Mile. The Last Mile, what are you doing? Thank you, The Last Mile.
The Last Mile, thank you.
Thanks for upgrading The Last Mile. You did not need to do that, my dog, but thank you so much. James Bickerstaff.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James Bickerstaff. Philip Muller.
Thank you, Philip.
Thanks, Phil. Can I call you Phil? Can I have $1?
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Nicholas Sims. Nicholas Sims, thank you.
Thank you, Nicholas.
K Phoenix Willow Tree.
Oh, that's thank you, K Phoenix.
KP Dubs is what we call them on the street. So
thank you, KP Dubs.
Thanks, KP Dubs, for the buck. Mike De Benedetto. De Benedetto.
I think you got it.
Mike got it. Mike, should I be like more like a D? Like Mike D Benedetto?
It might be D.
Mike D Benedetto.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you. And thank you to everybody else that continues to support us on Patreon. I hope you're enjoying your bonus content. Say what's up.
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter at the Dungeoncast. Follow us on Instagram at the Dungeoncast.
Yeah.
And
go to Discord. Thanks for everybody on Discord.
Go to Discord. All the links are in the description. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
I think we're going to call it a game.
Yeah, we got to say the thing.
Yeah,
let's call it a game.
Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
The Dungeoncast.